Well, hello, everybody. Very excited to be hosting this Careers Week event. We've got some really, really exciting guests. Just a quick mention that if you want to ask any questions, you can either ask them during the talks, or you can ask in the chats. We're going to be putting lots of links up in the chats to different things that we are mentioning. You will be getting a follow-up email tomorrow with the presentations and any other links and information. There's also, I'm going to quickly say, next week, we have just launched our research project called Unraveling the Fabric of Textiles Education. And it's just brilliant. I'm just so chuffed with it. So we are doing a tea and chat, a special tea and chat next Tuesday night with Roy Ballum, who's helped us to put this all together to do the research. So if you want to join us next Tuesday night, please do. I'm going to quickly move on and introduce the different people who are going to be welcome to different people who are with us tonight. Nikki, of course, Nikki Simpson, she's going to be talking about what we've got in terms of free resources and other things that we're up to. Amanda Demwell, who is the Senior Programme Manager at Discover Creative Careers, she's going to be doing a run through of what they're doing. And also Celia Thornley, the Head of Skills and Training at UK Fashion and Textiles Association, is going to be talking about what they're up to. And I'll also give a quick mention to Julia Roebuck, who is runs the Textile Careers Programme for Woven in Kirklees. I don't know if any of you are from up north or from the up as far as Huddersfield, or maybe a bit further. You might already know about the Woven in Kirklees festival and everything that goes on up there, but she's going to give a little talk as well, including some textile careers in 100 seconds playlist that they've got on their YouTube channel, which is really interesting. So I'm not going to keep chatting. I'm going to hand you over to Nikki. Hello, Nikki.
Hi, everybody. So nice to see you all. So welcome if you're teachers, if you're students, if you're parents, or you're just interested in anything that we've got to do with careers. I'm just going to go through a few little bits and pieces about us. Hopefully you can all see that. I know a lot of you know this already because you know us, but I'm just going through it just to make sure that you have all our details and everything that we do, because we do a lot of different things at the Textile Skills Centre. So the best thing you can do is to go onto our website. If you go onto our website, it'll come up automatically and ask you to sign in. If you do sign in, you'll get a newsletter. It's really important to get the newsletter because Dawn does that not always once a week, but at least once a month and sometimes a lot more. And each one of those newsletters are going to have all the dates, all the courses, all the free events, and make sure that you've got an email address on there where you're going to receive all of those. So that's really good to do. Follow us on our Facebook page. That's a public Facebook page, but we do have 2 Facebook groups. So we have the Textile Teachers Centre and the Textile Skills Centre. The Textile Skills Centre is basically a group for anybody interested in anything to do with textiles. You don't have to be a teacher, just go onto there, follow us on that group, join that group, and it could be anything textiles. Textiles Teachers Centre, slightly different. Obviously, it's for teachers. A lot of sharing of information on there. Really, really important for a lot of teachers to ask questions, share information. They even share jobs on there. We do get a lot of jobs shared on there these days. It's much cheaper to share jobs on there than it is to put it anywhere else. So do go on to both of those groups. So we do have our own YouTube channel, and on there you're going to find all the videos of the recordings of all our free events. But you're also going to find a lot of videos on there for careers. We do have, I think, 20 plus videos from students at uni, designers, all sorts of people talking about their careers on there. They're very short little clips, so that's really good for your students to have a look at. And they're varied, really varied, and they generally talk about where I started and where I ended up. So they might have started out on a fashion course, but actually ended up doing photography. So it's quite interesting, and that's all on there. Please do follow us on Instagram. Obviously, a lot of students come and join us on Instagram. It's instant, as it says, it's direct. We have a lot of videos on there. It's fun. But we also do advertise on there a lot of things that we do. Textile Skills Centre. We have a free mentorship program for teachers run by volunteers. So if you feel that you need any help in any way whatsoever, go onto the website and have a look. But we also want mentors as well. So if you feel that you'd like to be a mentor, we'd love to have you, wouldn't we, Dawn? We could do with a few more mentors. Pinterest. Great for you as teachers, but also great for students. So I've got, I update that weekly, and on the Pinterest page, there's several different boards. There's, you know, fashion illustration, there's fabric manipulation, paper manipulation, textile artists, you name it. I've got about 10, 15 different boards on there. Mark making, final garments, A-level, GCSE, so lots of different ones to look at. We also have a shop. In our shop, we've got a pattern pack and schemes of work. I won't go through that in great detail, but you can have a look at them, or email me or Dawn if you want any further information. So we do lots of free networking events. We do tea and chats, which a lot of you know, but we're also doing taste tiles now, which are more from artists. I did one the other week, if you came to it, where I did a whole workshop for an hour on American smocking. So they're kind of slightly different, but those are all the next ones to come. And yes, we do normally do them on a Tuesday, but tonight's a Wednesday because I've been abroad, I'm afraid. Sorry, teachers. The next tea and chat is the future of textiles education. Next one is Intro to AI, and I can't wait to see that one. I'm afraid I'm loving to go to that one. Then I'm doing a one on student sketchbooks. I know it's something that I've been asked for constantly, so I'm doing like a freebie, how to make your student sketchbooks look great. Nicola Perrin, it's one of our designers, artists. She's doing a talk and workshop pre one of her events. And then we've got one of our associates, Angela Walker, as a textile artist, and she's a teacher doing a talk for us, which would be great. So if you want to go to any of those, they're all in the diary if you go to our website, or you can just go onto the website. You'll find them really, really easy. So we have lots of free resources. That's also on the website. And I've got free resources for careers, which obviously you're interested in tonight. I think the one that most people look at is I've got a slide per career, and a lot of people print them out and put them as a display in their rooms, which is great for Ofsted, because you know Ofsted are doing research on careers. So I know a lot of people have fed back to me that Ofsted have come in and gone, oh wow, textiles are doing all the careers things. So quite important for you to have that, and it's a easy way of you doing something if you want to literally just print out the PowerPoint. Just to say that we've got a fab competition. Just quickly, Textile Student Artist 2024. If you entered it last year, please do enter it this year. Students get a free sewing machine, a Janome sewing machine. What more could you ask for? Of course, the trophy, which is obviously they want more than the sewing machine, and a Dryad goodie bag. Teachers, you're going to get £50 Dryad voucher, and you'll get a free course from us, a free online course. So do encourage your students to do that. If you want to enter all your students in one go, I'm happy for you to do that, and then you can come back and fill the forms in if they get put forward. So I know I haven't said it on the form, but I know a lot of teachers do just take lots of photographs of the student work, enter 20 or 30 students at a time. And then if they get selected, they come back and give me the blurb later. So that's easier for the teachers to do. Where am I? Okay, so we do obviously do a lot of courses, face-to-face courses, which I know a lot of you have been on. Just to say that we're in Coventry on Saturday. We still have places. We have people, Dawn, don't we, turn up in the morning and we don't even know they've booked because they just turn up and come. So that's fine. We're well equipped to have you to turn up. So we're in Coventry, Guildford, Bath, Chichester, Sandbach, Stroud and Peterborough. So those are the ones that take us up to this year. And please do come along. We're also in Stockport, where we're doing one at the Janome Centre, and that one's going to have something very different. We're going to do ones that we haven't done before at that one, so that one should be exciting. Those are all the face-to-face ones. Then we have our online on-demand courses, lots of those going on now and more going up. I'm about to put 2 new ones up. So online on demand means you can do them at any time, any place, anywhere, and they never end. So if you're buying one of those, they're not going to run out. It's not like you've only got a month to do it. That's a screenshot from the new one that we've just done, which is a surfaces one, and that's a long one, as in it's a lot on there. And then we've got lots of short courses which we've introduced too. So if you want to do one particular thing, you can pick out that, and it's a short course basically. They still have a hell of a lot on them. I mean, the American smocking one has got about, I don't know, 15 designs on there. So, you know, and the repeat pattern one has got about 5 or 6 videos. They've all got videos, templates, all sorts of things you can use in the classroom. And a lot of them, I know mine are, you can actually run them to the students. So if you want to do, I mean, I had one person tell me they did the creative repeat patterns, just put my video up in the classroom. She didn't sit down and have a cup of tea because you're not allowed to, but she did actually show that to the class and said it was amazing. They just all got on with it. So a lot of the videos can be relayed directly to the students. And then we've got online live courses. Lots of those going on now, lots of the Nicola Perrin drawing ones, which are amazing. Everybody's going to those. We've got 2 planning assessment progression courses, one for D&T, one for art textiles, and then we've got one coming up in AI. So lots and lots of courses going on. And just very, very quickly, I'll be 2 seconds. I'm not going to go through this in great depth, but just to say that we do have 3, this is the one I was showing you, 3 PowerPoints that you can look at. They were last year's ones because we don't need them this year because we've got all sorts of wonderful people doing it for us this year. Thank you, ladies. But there's lots of careers on here. This one runs through, this is the one that a lot of people print out just to show all the different careers. And then there are 2 other slides which link to the whole of the fashion and textiles industry as well. So if you want to go through all those, and they're not just, you know, fashion designers, we've got a lot more going on here. Medical, textiles, theatre. Oh, I just went to watch June today. There we go. I'm not going to go in great depth. They're all there for you to have a look at. That's me, Dawn. Over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, everybody.
It's an exhilarating start, isn't it? But that's
quick,
Nikki for you.
Quick. You know my courses, I do everything quickly.
So now I'm going to welcome Amanda Demwell, if you want to unmute yourself, Amanda. And she's a senior program manager at Discover Creative Careers. Slightly new in the job because I think you're covering for Kay, aren't you, Amanda? So I'm just going to let you carry on if you want to share what you've been up to.
Thank you very much. Well, I mean, I'm slightly mind blown by all of those amazing resources and things that you have on offer for teachers. So that's incredible. And thank you so much for having me today. I'm going to share my screen and just explain a little bit about Discover Creative Careers. And I'm particularly excited to be here during National Careers Week. So yes, thank you for having me. I'm just going to share my screen and talk you through what Discover Creative Careers is and why you should be interested in us, hopefully. Okay, so put this on. Okay. Here we go. Is that running? Yes. Okay. So our motto is there's a career for everyone in the creative industries. So we exist to promote careers for all of the creative industries. We are an award-winning industry-led initiative, and we work with careers, professionals, teachers, and parents to help support young people to make decisions about going into the careers. Into the creative industries. So our goal is to ensure that young people from all backgrounds feel like a career in these industries are for them. And we have a variety of different activities and resources that are available for careers professionals, teachers, parents, and young people to explore the different varieties of roles and also the different pathways into those sectors. So we are primarily working on tackling skills shortages and the lack of diversity across the workforce in the creative industries. So that's our main focus really, and we have some priority areas that we're really focusing on developing relationships with careers hubs and schools and industries in, and I'll come to that a little bit later on. So we are government funded and industry led. So the DCMS and Arts Council England fund our programmes, and we have funding until 2025. We work very closely with sector steering group members, so people from a variety of different creative industries. I think the partners, we can have a little look at the, yeah, here are some of the partners that we've got. So you can see that UKFT, who Celia is representing today, is one of our steering group members. So these are just some of the people that we work very closely with to design our programmes. We have a variety of different programmes, including monthly insight events, and those are on different themes. So the last one that we did last week was on architecture. We've got one coming up in March, which is on TV and film. So we do differently themed insights every month. We also run events for careers professionals, talking to them about the different industries in their area. We've got one coming up for the Northwest at the end of this month as well. We also have a lot of resources online. So I'm just going to skip these, I think. So I'm not sure where all of you are coming from today, but it would be really good to hear from you, particularly if you're in any of these priority areas, because our flagship event, the flagship offer that we run is Discover Creative Careers Week, and that takes place in November. This year it's the 18th to the 22nd of November, and we work with industry to open their doors and to get young people in for site visits, tours, talking to people about their roles and the pathways that they follow to get into those positions. And these are the priority areas that we're looking at engaging. So if you are teachers based in any, or careers leaders based in any of these areas, we can support you to find an activity that's going on in your area during Discover Creative Careers Week. So I can share this information, Dawn and Nikki, if it's a bit tricky for people to try and spot their area as I'm going through the slides, but we can share that afterwards as well.
That would be fab, thank you.
Yeah, so just a quick overview, like I said, of the core activities. We have these monthly insight events. We also have online, and I'll show you in a minute, resources that support learning about careers in different sectors, and Nikki's created one for textiles, which is great. We also have ones to do with fashion, which might be of interest to you, so I will show you an example of those. We also have lesson plans that you can deliver lessons around. There's actually one very useful one about careers in the creative industry, is a general overview one, and then there are ones looking at specific sectors as well. So yeah, here are the links. I can stick these in the chat for the fashion and textiles resources that we have. I'm going to try and click on this and see if we can have a quick look at it. It did work earlier, didn't it? Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so if I scroll down, we have a great couple of short videos here with people talking about their jobs in the sector. Yes, Alice is a costume designer. That's a good little video talking about how she got into that line of work. We have lesson planner, PowerPoint slides, so you can have a quick look through these, and activity worksheets as well. And then you can also watch, because Celia chaired one of our insight sessions on the fashion and textile industry. So you can watch a whole video to do with that, recorded video, which Celia might tell you a little bit more about when she speaks in a little while, which again, just showcases a range of different roles in the sector and different pathways into those roles, which is really interesting. Yeah, so explore our websites. If you're interested in Discover Creative Careers Week, particularly if you're in those priority areas, get in touch. And yeah, I think that's it. If I put my get in touch slide back on, if I can, let's find it. Oh, maybe not. I'll put my details in the chat. That's great.
Thank you, Amanda. That was short and sweet.
Thought thought it was a quick run through, because I know you're all probably much more interested in the very specific subjects that Celia is going to be talking about in a minute.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly introduce Julia Roebuck, if that's all right, Julia. If you just want to quickly talk about Woven in Kirklees events and this amazing careers program that you've been doing, and the videos on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, I'll pop the link in the chat now. But yeah, and Kirklees is one of those priority areas as well, so it'd be quite interesting to see if we can connect. So yes, my name is Julia Roebuck. I am a freelance textile practitioner through my business, which is called Upcycle Fashion. I'm really passionate about how innovation within communities can disrupt the current system and supply chains around textiles and fashion. So I work a lot with third sector organisations. I'm a director of a CIC called Thread Republic, based in Huddersfield. We run a textiles and haberdashery scrap store in Huddersfield. We do textile workshops and skills sharing and mending and clothes swaps, and lots of ways in which we as citizens can engage with textiles and fashion in a different way. And one of the big stories that I'm really passionate to tell in our local area is, and especially to young people, is just the range of textile jobs that are available locally. So being in West Yorkshire, we do still have a really massive textile manufacturing industry here. We have a really diverse range of textile jobs and a really diverse kind of range of people that are doing those jobs as well. So we, on that link there that I've just sent, is the careers resource playlist for our 100 seconds films. So because of this incredible textiles, not only heritage, but continuing innovation we have in this area, our local council put in some money about 4 years ago to core-fund a festival called Woven in Kirklees. So hopefully some of you, if you're up north, might be familiar with that or have heard about it. But that's a festival that just celebrates innovation in textiles. So that could be big business, independent crafters, makers, education, and kind of bringing in those links is something that we're quite passionate to explore and bring everyone together and kind of connect up, because there can be lots of very separate, disparate groups doing things, but with a lot of overlap and a lot of potential to support each other. So taking careers advisors, taking teachers, taking families into the mills, which aren't these crumbling Victorian buildings, you know, they're really modern, vibrant, contemporary places to work with finance departments and international sales teams and sustainability engineers. We have an incredible range of smaller freelance, like micro business, arts freelancers as well. And supporting that kind of makers network is something that we're really passionate to do, and tell the story that you can be a freelancer. I mean, nobody really teaches you how to be a freelancer. It's kind of something you have to evolve. But there's so many people struggling with the same kind of things, and we have, you know, so much more power when we come together to solve some of these problems and to help each other out and to kind of co-procure training and things like social media support. So Woven as a festival is really well placed to act as a spotlight and as a platform to bring people together for these conversations and to move the conversation forward about careers. So a lot of families think that it's stuck in the past and there's no future in textiles and fashion anymore. It's about overcoming that, and it's about showcasing that textiles intersects with every single sector there is. So we mentioned about you know, biomedicals quickly, I think, in a slide that you were showing, Nikki, before, but around you know, anything from airbags in your car to the seat you sit on the bus to the bed that you sleep in at night. So many young people, I'm sure you're aware, just think textiles is fashion, you know, especially if they're not doing a creative subject. So we have the resources on the Woven YouTube channel. There are 23 interviews with people working in different textile jobs around Kirklees to kind of myth bust the fact that there are still jobs in textiles and people love them and they're really exciting, and to also talk about the different pathways into those careers as well. So yeah, do check out, I mean, even though the people that we've interviewed are living and working in Kirklees and jobs in Kirklees, you know, it's still really relevant conversations to be having and linking with those career stories that you're talking with to students and parents, I think, as importantly as well. We work really closely with the University of Huddersfield and the Fashion Textile Department here, running tours there. And we also have the Textile Centre of Excellence, which is the apprenticeship and post-16 training provision. It's, I think, one of the largest ones, if not the largest, for textile manufacturing operative apprenticeships in the UK. And that's based in Huddersfield. So there's lots of training options, lots of pathways, lots of stories, lots of ways to get into the sector. So I would encourage you to have a mooch about on the Woven website. We do behind the scenes tours, and there's some brilliant resources on there as well.
Thank you, Julia. That was really inspiring. That was brilliant. Is there just a quick question? Is there stuff for teachers? Can teachers actually, do you work with teachers in the area? Do you work with schools in the area?
Yeah, we do. I mean, there's not resources in terms, we don't do lesson plans or anything like that. But yeah, we've run projects with schools around sustainability. We've taken school groups into the mills and built up those connections there. So they've been able to see, weaving, spinning, dyeing, finishing processes all happening, within 20 minutes of where they live. So that's really quite powerful. And the teachers really love the chance to get them out of the classroom and to see these workplaces. But we have a lot of the behind the scenes films as well to sort of bring that to life in the classroom. So for the teachers that use those resources, the reason that we wanted to make them quite short in the 100 seconds was because the feedback that we were getting from careers advisors was that schools approach that provision in lots of different ways. It might just be that a form tutor has 5 minutes in registration to show something. It might be that they have a 20-minute segment where they can do a kind of textile spotlight session with certain kids who are keen, maybe in year 9. So they're really sort of able to be used in lots of different ways, was the feedback that we were getting, what teachers wanted and careers advisors wanted.
Brilliant, really good, really good. I think you'll be getting lots of phone calls or messages.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thank you for the opportunity to raise it as well.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Julia. I'm now going to pass you over to Celia Thornley, who, as I said earlier, is the head of skills and training at the UK Fashion and Textiles Association. So if you'd like to take the space now, Celia.
Yes, certainly. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. What a really exciting group you've got together here. I've got to say, I'm really impressed. Julia, your stuff, wow, brilliant. It reflects some of the stuff we're doing at UKFT, so we need to talk. We already work with Discover Creative Careers, and we're hoping to now work with the Textile Skills Centre because you're doing some really cool stuff. I'll let you know, first of all, who UKFT are. I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but we are the sector skills body, I should say. Not councils are no longer for fashion and textiles. So we're the sector skills body for the industry. We're also a membership organisation. So we have over 4,000 members, which consist of employers and manufacturers around the UK, big retailers and small retailers. Whatever retailers want to join us, they're most welcome. We've got as a partnership of educators. So what we do with our education partners is, I knew that happened. My dog is talking. Sorry, bear with me a minute. The perils of working from home. I knew he's been quiet all day until I come on. So our education partners, we deal with or consist of around 54 different educationalists, and that's universities, further education colleges, private training providers, and whoever else wants to join us with regard to education, because those educators that join us, we work very closely with, and they help us with lobbying government if there's certain things that we need. They help us to develop the qualifications that the industry needs, apprenticeships, traineeships, anything that we think the sector needs. We bring our education partners together and we develop those programs in partnership with them and with industry. Collaboration is so important to UKFT. We can't do it on our own. We've got to go to government with our employers behind us, our education people behind us. And so we've got a strong voice and we make changes, and we have made changes, I'm pleased to say. My personal experience in the industry, I started off as an industrial sewing machinist many years ago, working for a company called Bentwoods in Liverpool. and I worked my way up in that industry to supervisory level, then went on to training, then had my own business for a while before joining the education system. So I've got a little taste of both, I'm pleased to say, and I think that's helped me progress with what I want to do. I think when I worked for the sector skills councils, they were really good and active and they got things done, but UKFT, Fashion and Textiles Association, have those real links with employers, so I'm proud to be working with them now and moving things forward with them. So with regard to the support we give to our industry, first of all, let me just talk about the sector. The sector we support is so diverse, like Julia said, it's amazing. So we've got anything from alpaca farmers who are members, all the way through to biotextiles, to technical textiles, to medical textiles that are weaving and knitting, heart valves, etc., to footwear companies like Doc Martens. We've got a really vast array of members, all doing different things and all feeding into what we do. So that means that we're able to do exactly what the industry needs. So as a result of that, we've developed around 15 new apprenticeship standards. For those who understand apprenticeships, we still have frameworks in Ireland, Wales and Scotland, but in England we've got these apprenticeship standards. And we started off with really a clean slate. We developed 15 in partnership with employers, and those apprenticeships also have a progression route. So we developed a occupational traineeship, which looks after the level 1. Then we go to level 2 apprenticeships, which are sewing machinists or textiles operatives. So we've got many up in Yorkshire, Julia, who are doing the textiles operative one. Huddersfield Centre of Excellence is one of our members and we work closely with them and they helped us to develop that apprenticeship. So we've got those, and then we go on to a level 4 and 5, which is all about product development and the more senior roles within the industry. So we've got a really good progression route, starting from when a school leaver goes into industry. My son, for instance, is doing an apprenticeship in textiles manufacturing in cutting, and he's working his way up into supervisory. So I'm pleased to say we've now got that progression in place, but we've also worked very closely with universities who are developing new areas within a degree level, as well as working with schools, because we have been party to developing the T levels. So I think we're touching every single base that we possibly can to make sure that we're covering the raft of careers that are out there in the sector. So I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to show you something that we've done. We have a careers campaign that's been going on now for 3 or 4 years. And we do something different every year. We work closely with Discover Creative Careers, but we also do our own thing, in that we've got a number of livery companies that support us to go out to do massive national career events. We take a whole load of industrial sewing machines, we take our education partners, and we get kids stuck into what we actually do in the industry, encouraging them to come on board and encouraging them to sign up to a new platform that we've got called UKFT Futures. I'm going to show you Futures in a minute. The UKFT platform Futures is relatively new. We're still building on it. We're still kind of looking on other resources that we can use. We're talking to partners about putting stuff on it as well. And then alongside that, we've got what we call the UKFT Academy, where we're going to be offering specialist online courses. So all of the courses that we put online are UKFT approved. So everything that we approve, we look at closely. So we'll take a syllabus, we'll look at it closely, we'll check that it meets all the quality criteria. We'll take it to our industry and say, look, does this do the job for you? If they say yes, the course is approved. And it's almost as like a kite mark to say that it is industry led and industry approved. So it's a good thing to have as a kite mark onto those qualifications. It gets the funding side of things sorted out for colleges and private training providers, and we support them in that as well. So, and we seem to be doing a whole lot of things. But I'm going to talk to you now about the industry and how we're looking. We do loads of research. Everything we do is based on research. You won't do anything without backup. So if you look at these sites I'm going to show you in a minute, it will tell you about the 65 different career types that we promote. It will tell you about the contributions of over 20 billion to the UK economy that the fashion and textiles contributes. We employ around 500,000 people across the UK, and 88,000 of those are working within the industry itself. So they're manufacturing. It's the manufacturing roles that we need. That's where we've got the skill shortage, and that's what we're promoting. We manufacture around 9.1 billion worth of product per year, and we export 4.2 billion. I've now got figures and I've got to read them. I can't never remember them, but we've got some really good figures that back us up when we talk to government. We have to have those figures and we have to have that research done. So the problems that we've got in supporting our industry and making sure that they carry on producing here, and companies that are looking at reshoring again, because we've got them coming back and looking to reshore, to produce here again, is a massive skill shortage. So we had one company, for instance, who was exploring settling in Greater Manchester. They did a whole load of research on it, and they could not get the skills that they needed to be able to produce here. And it was a real issue. So it's something that we are really hot on trying to promote. Raising the profile of the sector, as Julia said, it's really key to us. So everything we do is about raising the profile of the sector and really trying to engage young people so we've got a future skills pipeline so our industry can continue to thrive and grow. And we can shout about it and get parents and teachers like yourselves to talk about it to kids coming through school, in the hopes that they will make, when they come to making their careers choice, they will see our sector as a really secure, viable and interesting future. So I'm going to show you UKFT Futures now. This is a resource that is free. Teachers can sign up to it, and also we encourage them to sign up, to get them to sign their students up to it too, because we send monthly newsletters all about the industry, and we also send job alerts to people who are looking for jobs within the sector. So it's an interesting site. It's still, I feel, got a lot of potential to do more, but we can only do so much. So I'm going to show you it now, and I'll show you how it's split up. So I'm going to share my screen. So this is what the top page looks like, the cover page. And we've got three areas. We've got inspired, get informed, and get involved. So the get involved one is all about finding your pathway into the industry. And like Nikki has said and Julia has said, we've got all kinds of things on here, from all kinds of videos, and people that have careers in the industry already and are doing apprenticeships or have succeeded in the sector in one way or another, and how they've done that. But the get involved one is all about apprentices, what to do if you want to become an apprentice, where to go, what to expect, what the frameworks and the standards look like. We've got stuff on our industry approved courses that I mentioned before. That's all about we will get people like Johnson's of Elgin in Scotland. They came to us and said, we're creating a mending course for people to mend cashmere sweaters. How can we do this? And so we helped them to create an online course to do that. They took it through industry approved, and now they've got it as a commercial asset. But we've got all kinds of things on industry approved. Think from that to things like machine maintenance for industrial machines. We really only talk about industrial machines. We know domestic is really big in the creative industries, but for our sector, it's mainly industrial stuff that we kind of get involved with. And the industrial sewing, we've got a course on a production sewing machinist, which is a really cool online course, which is being rolled out to textiles workshops across the prison industry, textiles industry, which sounds a bit odd, but it really is an interesting project. They are these men and women who are in their textiles workshops, there's 73 of them across the UK, are learning about production sewing, not hobbyist sewing, it's production. It's about meeting quality, meeting performance, getting their speed up while they're reaching their quality. And if they can do all of those things and get their training in prison, when they come to get released, our industry are looking to employ them. So it's a really great opportunity for them, and it really helps our industry to try and fill the skills gap that we've got. There are education partners, so if you want to have a look at that when you in your own time, it tells you who the education partners are and what we do with them and the kind of activities that we cover. Then we talk about our careers fairs. We do quite a few careers fairs. We try and get a bit of a budget every year from our livery companies, and we go out and we do some of these careers fairs which are local. We changed our approach last year, and we used to only just go to the careers fairs which catered for schools. So the Skills London, Skills Yorkshire, all the big skills events. We now also do a smattering of UK careers fairs, which are aimed at job seekers. And that again was requested by our employers because they wanted job seekers to realise that actually we've got a sector here, we've got vacancies, there's some really great jobs and there's progression. So we went out and did that last year, and we managed to get so many people employed in different regions that it was a really interesting project, and we've decided to do it again this year. That is our production sewing machinist course I mentioned before. Then we've got support for startup businesses, finding apprenticeships, finding traineeships, looking at qualifications. We've got the Get Informed section. I'm losing my voice now. Get Informed is all about the job roles within the sector. And I mentioned earlier, there's over 70, I think, or just under 70. And we cover loads of different types of jobs. And within these jobs, we talk about what the job role is, what you'd be expected to do, what the expected pay rate is, who the employers are, what qualifications, etc. you need to join. And then we work closely with Patrick Grant from the Sewing Bee. You know, he's got his company up in Blackburn, the old Cookson and Clegg, and he is a really good ambassador for us. And he talks on this about his company, the sector he works in, and the kind of job shortages he is experiencing. So as you can see, there's all kinds of things on there which would be of an interest to you as teachers to share with your students. Then we'll get inspired. And this is about exactly, again, what we were talking about, getting young people in particular to talk about their jobs in industry, how they've progressed, what they've done, if they've been an apprentice, if they've just come in as, in a job and worked their way up in the company. That Making for Costumes for Character was the industry profile story that we did with Discover Creative Careers. And that's a really great video, isn't it, Amanda, of this young man who went in. I think he started off as in pattern cutting, and he ended up actually creating these wonderful costumes. So it's a really nice video, that. So there's all kinds of things in there as well. All or most of these companies that you'll see are UKFT members. We've also delivered programs in the likes of Mulberry and Burberry, and that again is all about the skill shortages these high-profile companies are experiencing. They can't even recruit. They can't get the skilled sewing machinists or anybody that even interested in becoming a machinist or a designer or a pattern cutter or whatever. No, I tell a lie, there's plenty of designers coming forward, but they need the technical skills. That is what our companies are looking for, the technical skills required to actually make products to the quality and quantity that they require to make it profitable for them. So they are looking for a certain type of person, and once they get them, and I know girls that have gone in, and boys have gone in as industrial sewing machinists. They've learned the ropes, and they've either gone sideways into pattern cutting or into design or into supervisory. So there's loads of progression routes, and we talk about those as well when we talk about our industry, and you'll see those on this particular website. So that's our UKFT Futures platform. There's also some stuff about UKFT. UKFT do have their own website, which is really interesting. It's got loads of stuff on, but this one is particularly designed to grab the imagination of young people and try and make sure that they are looking to us as a serious career option for the future. So I'm going to stop sharing now, and my voice is going, so bear with me. Okay. So I don't know if there's any questions. We've got a question and answer session into the time. So if anybody wants to ask anything, or if I have a look at the chat and see if there's anything there that I can answer. Somebody's mentioned there the Capit B qualifications. Yeah, I worked for Capit B for a long time, and yeah, the Capit B is still around. I don't know if you're aware of what Capit B do now. They're they offer grants for training. So if you've got somebody that comes to you with I want to, I don't know, do some training in mending, for instance, like the Kashmir group I mentioned before, Capit B will often fund it. So that it's worthwhile knowing about what Capit B are doing now. UKFT are part of the board, but we've got some really good activity going on with Capit B with regard to funding individuals in training. We've also got funding from, what do they call? I always get this wrong, Quest, they're called the Queen Elizabeth Group. They also fund different things within our sector. And all of our livery companies, which are listed on the UKFT website, will support various training opportunities as well. So it's about young people or anyone that wants to join the sector. If there's something that they want to do and they're passionate about it and there's a reason why they want to do it, it's worthwhile looking at these sites to see if there's any support they can get to go forward with it. I'm just having a little look at the lovely comments that you've made. Thank you. How important are degree qualifications for careers in the sector? Do you know, they are very important, and we work really closely with our universities, and we've got a great group of very, they're innovative thinkers. They're doing things now that they've never done before. One of the problems that we had, and we went to them a couple of years ago, was they were churning out wonderful young people that could design brilliant things, but with very few technical skills. So when these kids would go for the jobs, a employer would say, well, can you make up a garment? Can you, do you know about pattern? Could you? And they would know very little of the technical skills that the employers actually needed. So as a result of that, we've done a little bit of research. We went back to the universities, and slowly but surely we're changing the syllabus. And they're coming up with some great stuff. We've also got a Made It project where we work very closely with universities, and we send industrial experts in to talk to the students. So yeah, they're very important. But I'm a big believer in vocational training, and I love our apprenticeships, and I really want them to work for us. If they don't, we'll lose them. So we've got one, for instance, called the Fashion Studio Assistants, which was designed in partnership with the British Fashion Council, which was, I thought it was great. It was really good. It came on board and it was approved. It hit just before COVID came, and as a result, the apprenticeship standard people looked at it and said, right, you've got no starts on this, or very few. It's not worth our while to do. It's got to go, and we've got to fight for it. If that happens, we've got to fight for it. But the only way they'll keep them is if we get decent numbers on them. So bear that in mind and encourage young people to look at apprenticeships in our sector.
Julia, did you want to say something? Julia Roebuck.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just with the question about is a degree necessary? I mean, when we take mill owners, people on tours, and the mill owners meet them, and if you just want to start an apprenticeship, if you're 16 and you've just left school and you want to start an apprenticeship, all they need from you is to be able to get out of bed at 5 o'clock and graft.
Exactly, I totally agree. And potential, yeah.
Like they just want someone who's willing to learn on the job and work hard. And when we take careers advisors a lot of the time into the mills, they'll walk in and be like, oh my God, there's jobs for boys here in textiles. Like, it's such a kind of revelation to them, and they're like, right, how do we tell this story? There's lots of, and then they can immediately take that back and share that across the board. But yeah, there's a lot of guys that work in textiles. It's just I
totally agree with what you're saying. Degrees aren't a must, and it's very hard. I've got to have an unbiased opinion. I haven't got a degree. I started off as an industrial sewing machinist, and I worked my way up in the industry. And I've never needed one, and I know what I'm talking about. But you do get, these people who were so inspired by their courses and we don't want to say that. So it's kind of like getting that balance right, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it depends kind of what area you want to work in. Absolutely. For some, they're totally essential, but for other aspects, they're not.
We did a couple. I agree with you as well about getting boys interested in the sector. That's a toughie. And what we did is we worked with Sigma Techs, who were carbon fibre weavers. They weave carbon fibre to produce, the hard shell that goes on racing cars and airplanes and everything else. So we got parts of racing cars and we got them out there on I mean, this was the challenge. I remember carrying a big bloody wheel wing or whatever it was, just to show, look what you can do. This is real engineering. It's not just textiles. This is about engineering. And we did get young people on board, and we did get apprentices for Sigma Techs as a result of that. But yeah, I think there's loads of key messages to get to our boys out there.
Somebody's also asking about T-levels, Celia.
Yeah, well, it's still in the making what we're doing, but we've been heavily involved in the new T-level, and we have made sure that we're calling it textiles and fashion, and we're making sure there's making in it, the real production and manufacturing side of things. That has been a challenge because we've got there's a lot of bureaucracy around them, but it's on its way, what we've done.
Has anybody else got any questions for any of the panel? I'll call it.
There was a question, sorry, I got cut off at one point. There was a question much further up about work experience. Did you see that one?
Oh no, I missed
Do you
that.
know of any work experience opportunities, especially near Derby?
Oh, well, yeah, we do know about Derby. Yeah, contact me, whoever that is. We've got a traineeship which was developed about a year or so ago, and that traineeship, if you need a training provider that will deliver it, but that traineeship has work experience encompassed in it, if that's the kind of thing that you're looking for. There are other things. We're working on the internships at the minute as well. So there is opportunities for placement. There's things like skills boot camps, which we've been involved with in Salford, in Manchester. We're trying to get those up off the ground. We've got one going at the minute in Skelmersdale, of all places. But yeah, there's potential for placement. So whoever that was, just ask them to contact me personally.
Thank you. Has anybody got any more questions? Just scrolling down. Oh, somebody's asking which unis you'd recommend for costume design. Not sure who could answer that.
I don't know. Uni
costume.
I
know that Nottingham has a good course, and I think
Bournemouth, is it Bournemouth?
Yeah, that's right.
Bournemouth and Wimbledon. Somebody's just put Wimbledon there. I only know those because they're in my area, and that's where my niece went. But Wimbledon is excellent, and Bournemouth is excellent.
And there's apprenticeship costume as well.
Yeah, there should be. I mean, there are so many jobs out there at the moment in costume design. They're begging for assistance to help them out because we're doing so much over here at the moment with Netflix and things like that. A lot of those, for me, were London-based, but yeah, there's plenty of jobs out there doing that.
I agree. We worked with the Royal Shakespeare Company and some of the Opera House to develop the standards for the industry, and then it went to Screen Skills because it's kind of like halfway between fashion and textiles and TV and theatre. It didn't quite fit right with us, so Screen Skills as well will have details about the costume design apprenticeships and degrees.
Celia, how do they contact you if they want to contact you directly?
Well, I'll put my email on the chat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody's asking, are there any particular websites to find jobs, especially related to textiles?
There are a number of specific recruitment agencies that just deals with the fashion and textiles industry, but they are quite high level jobs I've found, and a lot of them are offshore as well, but they are worthwhile looking at. And the UKFT Futures post job alerts all the time. We've done quite a bit of research in where the jobs can be found, because we were trying to help our industry to promote their jobs, because as they advertise them, they're not very good at advertising and making them look good. So we're trying to help them to do that by developing a toolkit where they can do their own promotion, etc., using our tools. And then we're looking at making a section on UKFT Futures to put all the jobs on there. At the minute, there isn't anything 100% specific, but there's little bits of everything. But it is worthwhile going to the fashion and textiles recruiters themselves.
That'd be great. There's a job there for somebody. Start your own agency.
Yeah.
Somebody's also mentioned Draper's Record, which usually has a job listing. Right. I think we're nearly there. This has been brilliant. Let's just see. There's a couple more messages just come through. Any more? I can't see any more. Okay, right. Thank you so much. I don't know if Nikki wants to add anything else, but I would just like to say.
No, there's just wanted to say that we do have a resource for boys in fashion and textiles as well. There's a free resource. It does focus on fashion a lot, and it focuses on trying to get boys into take GCSE textiles. You might want a smattering of those around your classroom if you're putting up careers. There is like a separate boys thing. And you might want to put some of those in there too. So it's a lot more boy images on there specifically related. So if you want that, that's a free resource as well. Just sorry, when we were talking about boys there, I think it's a good resource to use.
So thank you so much, everybody. Particularly thank you to Amanda and to Celia and to Julia. Yeah, round of applause. Really, really, really good tea and chat tonight, guys. Girls and guys.
Why I'm in chat in my case, Dawn, I've got to say.
You deserve it. You need to wet your whistle. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you all for coming. It's a really good turnout. And just a reminder that next Tuesday, we're doing the Research into Textiles Education report with Roy Ballum, and that's revealed a lot of interesting findings about what is going on in schools at the moment. And hopefully at some point this will be seen by the powers that be, and we will be getting some changes and make sure that textiles is in that loop and is in that education system properly. Thank you so much, everybody, and
Thank you.
bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.